So art found me at probably one of the lowest times of my life is when I was recovering from my stem cell transplant, and it was in the middle of the pandemic. So I really didn't have anywhere to go or anything to do. I had my daughter home with me, and I turned to art really unexpectedly. I've always been creative, but in a lot of different ways. And so, it helps me get my emotions out, and where I can like tap back into these places I've been, especially like throughout cancer. I can tap into those emotions, but I don't have to stay there. And by getting it out and kind of turning it over to the world and saying like, here, this is yours now, it really helps me to heal from some of the trauma and all the, lovely things that come with cancer. I always tell myself that there's probably somebody out there that feels the way I do. So that was really true when I first started sharing, because I think there wasn't a lot online talking about the stuff that isn't really easy to talk about. There was some, but not like it is today. So I focus on the greater good. Like, I can tell this really hard story about parenting with cancer, and even though it's upsetting and it's, in some ways feels embarrassing, or I'm ashamed of certain parts of things, I just know that there's somebody else who's gonna see that and go, oh, I see myself in this, and that's worth it to me. While my artistic life and my cancer advocate life are very intertwined, so I think now, as I've gotten into doing this for so many years now, it's more peeling them apart now than it is intertwining them. It's getting them, for me to say, I am an artist, and it's not just because I had cancer, and I don't just talk about cancer. I have other things to say and other things to create, and maybe I just want to create something fun today that has literally nothing to do with cancer. They're definitely sometimes separate. I obviously use it as a coping mechanism, but then it's evolved a lot for me. I sometimes make art that no one ever sees, and I think that's healthy, because that's, going back to what we talked about earlier, boundaries are important, and so, you need to keep some things to yourself. And so, yeah, I draw all types of things that you probably would never imagine in my sketchbooks, and that's just for me, and I need to be able to do art that's just for me too.